Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 135. I'm your host Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
It is the morning after a late night.
It was a late night.
If we sound a little tired,
we were partying hard.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was
a good time.
Good time. Did karaoke, sang some songs. But today we're going to be taking a look at Magic in 2025 because we have somewhat of a release schedule. We know it's not everything because there isn't 12 sets.
Yes.
So
definitely gaps in this schedule.
There's definitely gaps for things to be added, so don't worry. They will. And Star Wars Unlimited was added to Mox Alpha, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And what else were we going to talk about?
Arena has
you
can
buy decks now.
Yeah, which is wild.
Or is that this upcoming week? It's either soon or has already happened.
Yeah, they advertised it. Yeah. Whatever that situation ends up being, I don't know. I'm not super close on Arena, but
I have my decks.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. It's actually a draw for someone like me.
Yes,
that's which I think is smart. It's like it does tempt me to go back and get on Arena and spend money, which without this I don't have that temptation. So
right. Yeah, that's fair. I still am playing for free. Ever since I've came back, I haven't spent $1.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You're very good at card games.
It's fun. What else did we say we were going to talk about?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll meander into other topics. There was a few new cards revealed for Fab, if you're interested in talking about that.
We can talk about that real quick. There was a card that was like, hey, maybe Tommy plays again. Unsheathed. It's a warrior action. Costs 0 red, blocks 3. Love it. Your next sword attack this turn gets +3. And when this hits, if its attack is greater than twice its base, which you're attacking with a Centauri Saber, so it is, it gets go again.
So this set is Runeblade. It's just Magic, right? So this is one of those like everyone gets a card slot cards.
Yep. This is the expansion slot.
That's it. Yeah, got it. Okay, cool. Just making sure. I was like, why is there warrior stuff? But yeah, that makes sense.
And then the ninja thing. We got Gust Wave of Second Wind, which is a ninja, 0 red, swings for 4, blocks 3. Combo if Surging Strike was the last attack this combat chain. It gets go again. So similar, giving older classes more go again.
I like that Sigil of Brilliance. I don't know, but I'm starting to feel like my Brainstorm cards stock is going up.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Specialization. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. When this leaves the arena, draw a card. So card draw for 0 seems pretty fun. I imagine there's going to be some hijinks with this guy to like cycle a bunch of cards out real fast because he's Lightning Wizard, you know?
Yeah.
So it just feels like that's the direction. So Brainstorm with a Lightning Wizard?
Seems good.
Almost like a theme is happening.
Seems good.
Fab isn't known for that at all. So yeah, it looks interesting. There's a couple of new cards they spoiled recently that just look interesting. This Lightning Wizard stuff really got my attention. So cool.
Yeah. We also got some preview cards for the next Star Wars set.
Yeah. Anything good?
Nothing like too spicy yet, but they're just starting. You're starting to see, what is it? Well, we talked about like Grievous and Ashoka, but you get to see like Captain Rex, Anakin Skywalker, some of the like starter deck. Most of them are starter deck cards.
Gotcha.
Jesse, just a bunch of Clone Wars stuff, droids and clones, and Republic stuff and Separatist. So different,
adding new tribals and then enhancing the previous ones, obviously.
New keywords like coordinate, which is if you control 3 or more units. So just by having that, you then gain the coordinate ability. like the ability's on the card, but you can't use that ability until you have 3 units.
Got it.
So, and Anakin's is on attack, draw a card, which seems pretty dang good. And he's a 6/6 for 5. And you just need 3 other things, and when you attack with him, draw a card.
So, question, you had mentioned this. We met a listener last night. You knew him. I didn't know him. I met him for the first time. James. Shout out to James. Nice job with the karaoke, singing in multiple languages. That was super impressive.
Hey.
But he plays Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
You had been helping him with decks or something. I don't remember what she said.
Yep.
So that's cool. Is this something that you guys are hyped about? Is this a mediocre? Like, where are you guys on temperature with this new set and that sort of thing? I don't keep up on I know there's a Discord.
There's not enough to get excited about yet.
Okay.
Like that Anakin card's very good and seems really good.
Nothing's inspiring deck building or fiddling or thinking like that.
No, it's gonna. All the sets have been very tribally in theme, and you don't really know the whole picture until you see all the pieces.
Got it. Okay. And it's coming
because it's not like with the hard separation and tribal stuff. There's it's not like you would be building with the deck around cards in this set with sprinkled in from set 1 and 2.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so it's similar to like set 2 was like that too, kind of.
Yeah.
So very strong theme. Like this set can be your set and then go get a few singles from the other set, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good, especially this early in. It allows for multiple entry points, as opposed to feeling like you're behind or missing something or whatever.
Yeah. And it's the 3rd set comes out in November, so it's a while away.
Okay, so it's November. I wasn't sure on the timing on that. Yeah. Cool. And anything else in the Star Wars world?
Boxes are coming down.
What are they at these days?
Let's see. I think back down. I think set 2's back down to MSRP or below. Yeah, it's below MSRP. It's at 111.
Oh wow.
Yeah, ship included.
Yeah, that's way lower.
And then set 1 is around $200, but it did dip down to like 170 because there was recently another wave that hit shops.
Yeah, and they said they're going to keep doing that for a while, right? Like that's at least until fall or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a larger wave in the fall of set 1.
Okay, so we're going to have really reasonably priced boxes before too long. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's a shame that it was a rough start, but it seems like it's going to be good for players going forward.
Yeah, and then with the amount of new people I see coming into the game still, this only just creates a larger on-ramp for all those new players, which is just what the game needs.
Yeah, and it's now you're going to get the drafting experiences and all the stuff that the game was actually designed for, but couldn't do because it was too popular.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I'm very excited to be able to draft again.
Yeah, I bet. Cool.
Yeah.
November. That's coming quick.
Yeah. Only 3 sets a year, which isn't too bad. But
yeah, that's a very reasonable number, honestly.
Yeah.
More than that gets a little excessive if you ask me, but I guess with this speed you will have drop off in upcoming years because it's just like, okay, we're all kind of bored of this, waiting for the next set sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, like the week before the new set, I was the only person to show up besides a bunch of new people.
That's normal though. That even happened with Magic. I remember when I was doing Friday Night Magics, that would happen. Like it was just dead. There's like 4 of us.
What's the point?
Yeah, from 30 people in a normal draft night to like 4, and then like the next weekend or whatever was the pre-release. Yeah. That is normal.
Yeah. But yeah, still having fun with it. Just I've been so busy with work that I haven't been able to get in as deep as I'd like.
Yeah, you're in your crazy time right now.
Yeah, just trying to keep my head above water.
Yeah.
But in October, it will be done. Well, in September, but then I have to play catch up on all the things. So I'll probably be out of things in October. But then it'll be the fall, and it'll be nice. We can go to Ren Fair. And we'll do something.
Yay! Yeah, Jillian the date that I'm going. She was like, "Can we
Oh,
go to
yeah,
Ren Fair?"
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I have one in my calendar, and that's the
Oh.
only one. It's not even the Maryland one this year,
Yeah.
sadly.
Yeah. But speaking of things
Yeah,
that aren't this year, Magic's release schedule. So,
2025.
and before we get to that, did you see the trailer for Dustborn? The little
No,
teaser thing?
no.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of horror
Was it?
things on the TV.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing that whole theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the haunted house thing. It's a good time of year for that too. When does that come out? Is that right at October? Or is it
September 27th, pre-release
okay,
is the week
so
before.
yeah,
September
right in the
20th.
midst of spooky season.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, no, I am. This one I may actually pick up the pre-release or bundle or something on release just to draft it. So, but I'm saving up my gold again because I do want to draft it a lot on Arena.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. I don't know. I have some concerns with how they've been talking about this room mechanic, but we'll see. It may be one of those like confusing, weird, limited things.
Yeah, it happens.
So
it happens.
I'm not getting my hopes too high, but aesthetic wise, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I remember I believe in the beginning of the year we went over like what's exciting about this upcoming year, and Duskmorn was on my list. I don't think it was the top of my list, but I think it was on my list. And the closer we've gotten to it, the less excited I am for it, honestly. And I'm not sure why. I don't know what that is. Maybe because it's just been in my head for so long, it just feels old now, or
We
I'm
have
not
to
sure.
get closer to spooky season.
That's true. Once
Once
that
you're in
hits,
spooky season
yeah,
vibe.
it's true. It's true. That will probably trigger it to be like, yeah, spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I do think it's still going to be funny and standard mixing the bunnies and the horrors.
And the horrors. Hey, nothing like tentacle bunnies to bring in the Halloween spirit, right?
Of course. Of course.
So what else is on the schedule?
So we're going to be starting with an Innistrad remastered in January.
And what do you think about that?
I don't know.
I like Innistrad personally.
I mean, it's more spooky.
Yeah. I just like Innistrad. I like that realm. I think I've liked that realm since I was like younger, honestly. Nothing like vampires and werewolves and stuff to be fun. That's in January. That's a weird time of year for that, though.
Isn't that? Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, because they're doing Dustmore in September. And then isn't Foundations November?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then December, January.
And a remaster set means there's no new cards, so it's just going to be reprints in probably a really draftable format, like a designed to draft format. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, honestly, because I do like Innistrad, but it's like, do we need more from that realm?
I mean, if the limited is good, I hear it's good. If I hear it is good, I haven't heard. I might pick up a box for us to play draft because I'd be more interested in playing Innistrad remastered than I was. I wasn't tempted by the previous remastered sets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how the product is actually constructed, because that will make all the difference in the world. And who knows? Like, they tend to throw some juice in the remastered sets so they sell them because they're at a higher price typically.
Maybe they put New Hope Massacre in there.
Or well, they probably will. Any of the big cards from any of the Innistrad sets that need a reprint to bring the prices down, you can pretty much expect them in there. That's kind of a standard. Yeah. But like the lands, dual lands or whatever, or tap lands or whatever, shock lands. I don't know. They've done different ones for different sets, and I can't keep track of which is in what, but they tend to have something in there that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's great. And then you end up pulling like 100 of them and the prices still don't come down because they're so demanded. So. Yeah. Definitely happened with Ravnica. I remember that.
Yeah.
So, codename Tennis.
Death race cards.
Yeah, I'm like, a what? What?
Yeah, it's a death race.
Okay.
Just a bunch of cars going real fast.
Yeah. What? I guess vehicles, right? There'll be a
Yeah,
lot of
there'll
vehicle
be a
love in
lot of
that set.
vehicles. Yeah,
Kind of play off of Neon Dynasty, I suppose, right? That style, because Neon Dynasty
maybe
had a bunch of the vehicles and
they
like
did. It did.
all that stuff. So it's like it's probably like finishing out that cycle of mechanics. It seems like how they do things. You know, they introduce a new set of mechanics, like the was it the artifact transforming capability in Neon. Um,
And then there was ninjutsu.
Ninjutsu is old though. They actually, I feel like that set finished out an old visit on Ninjutsu,
Gotcha.
which had been around for a while. It just wasn't really fleshed out fully. So you could, there was like, I think a handful of decks you could build out of it that were functional, but this made it like over the top ridiculous. And I know that personally because I got slapped in the face with one by our local very good deck builder who beats my butt all the time. And he had a ninjutsu deck that was just absolutely insane. I think it featured some Assassin's Creed cards, which definitely helped.
Mm.
Those cards are insane, just insane. Actually, we didn't talk about what we played, but when I was playing this week, another friend was there for the first time against some Assassin's Creed deck,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "What is this card?" I was like, "Dude, you got to check out the singles for this set.
Yeah.
Just look at them. Like half of
Yep.
them are just utterly bonkers." He's like, "No one knows about this at all, do they?" And the buddy who builds Assassin's Creed stuff is a big fan. And he's like, "Yeah, everyone slept on this set.
Yeah.
Like, it has some really crazy cards in it." So yeah, people didn't like the theme, I guess. I don't know. It's wild. Very
Just looked right
unexpected.
past it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm kind of okay with because I feel like they're a little bit cheesy, a little too
Yeah,
powerful. Like it's okay, but I'm just like, oh, I'm glad there's not too many of these out there.
Yeah. I don't know. A death race could be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely low on the list of things I'm excited about, though. Looking at next year.
So yeah, new vehicle focus, I guess is really all it says. Cool. All right. After that, return to Tarkir. It's a strange
Q2.
one.
Yeah.
Yep. I got nothing on that one. Tarkir was a time I didn't play. I do have, I think, a set of the booster boxes from that block because that was back when they did blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have one of each, or if not one of each, two out of the three. I can't remember. Yeah. I don't know. I have no strong feeling on that. I just know it was in a very liked set. And I don't know why. Maybe it was just one of those times when Magic was dying. No one cared about it.
Maybe. I have no attachment to it.
Yeah, I know it's
No
definitely like a different time period. So maybe it pulls back in some of the old heads, that have been out for a while. And they're like, oh yeah, Tarkir, I remember that. I know I'll have to ask some of my friends who were playing during that period and just be like, is this exciting for you?
Yeah.
Does this bring back, your memories of college or whatever, whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
See what they think. But yeah, I have nothing on that one. That one doesn't excite me at all.
So what does excite me is the next one.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, Universes Beyond.
Yep. So you think this is going to be a killer set?
It depends on what they do.
Yeah.
I will be excited or disappointed based on this. And that is, do they do the Beyond boosters again? Or do they do draft boosters? Or play boosters? Because we don't have Universes Beyond play boosters.
Yeah.
The closest thing we have is Lord of the Rings, which was draft.
Yeah, it was draft. That's a good question.
Obviously, they'll have commander decks. Obviously, they'll have collector boosters. But the thing is, why would they come out with Beyond boosters if they were just going to do it for Assassin's Creed?
It's a good point. Also, it looks like they're putting it on Arena. So does that mean it has to have draft?
Oh, no, because they put Assassin's Creed on.
Did they? I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
Some of the cards that are in Arena got like skins. You can get the variants.
Okay.
Okay.
Well then, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me on that one, it's the art. I want to see how the art looks. That's going to be my yay or nay.
I think it's going to be very big. Having it on Arena and having draft would be huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Because, I mean, Final Fantasy people are video game people. So
Mhm.
you put it in the video game version of Magic.
Yeah, but that's true with Assassin's Creed, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a question mark how they execute on this one.
I will be happy if there's a limited format.
As long as it looks good, I'm yay. Even if they don't have draft, if they have draft, I think that's a major boon. But again, it seems like they're moving away from that pattern, or never really established that pattern.
Yeah, I would grab the commander decks of these though.
Yeah, I pretty much grab all the commander decks now. I still, I went back to that some time ago. I've been doing it for a while.
I may pick up the Duskmourn ones too, actually.
Yeah, I might pick up a few. I don't know. I have all the Bloomburrow ones I got in just a little bit ago, but that one I think for Duskmourn I'll probably just pick up one or two. Like I'll look and see which one seems interesting and go from there. The problem is, and I didn't really think about this before, but it's definitely a thing. Like the Bloomburrow decks, there's only like 10 new cards in each deck.
Yeah.
So it's like just build it, right? I have so many cards, like
just buy the 10 cards.
Yeah, buy the 10 cards and just build the deck. You don't really need that. It does help for getting like a baseline mana and that sort of stuff, and like your staples. You get your Soul Ring and all that, so you don't have to get the staples again. But I've torn down so many commander decks that is not a problem for me. I get it for other people, but it's not a problem for me. I have a million Soul Rings and command towers. Like I really do. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not sure if I will continue buying them. And we don't really play precons anymore. If we still did that, I would do it because I always enjoyed that. I really liked that back in the day, but I think everyone's gotten too sophisticated for that. It's no fun for people anymore because it's too slow.
I do it.
Would you?
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a ton of commander decks I could bring over anytime.
I know, but we just when we play limited.
We draft exactly. That's what I mean. It's like I don't really have anyone that does the precons. It was also my older sister. I was doing it with her for a while, but we don't really get together that often anymore. Like that was around when my mom passed away, so we were getting together all the time. It was just something to do. Now we don't get together that often. I guess I could bring it for holidays and stuff. In fact, I'm sure I will. If I see her for the holidays, I will definitely bring commander decks because I always do.
I think
but yeah,
I think they're more fun with the. I think you can get people to do it more easily with the Universes Beyond ones.
It definitely
here's
has
the Lord of the Rings ones. Here's the
the 40K ones in particular were really good.
40K were a ton of fun.
Yeah,
and those were good decks. Those weren't. I don't think those were slow. I mean, obviously they could be faster, but they were good decks.
They were pretty good. Yeah. Tyranny was a little slow.
Yeah. But then next up, we have a space-themed set. I
like that. I don't care about anything else. The fact that there's a space-themed set, I'm in, like 100%. But that's just me. I'm a space nerd. I love space shit. So,
how disappointed would you be if it was Unfinity 2?
It's not. Oh. We have info on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's. Are you not looking at the release calendar?
I'm looking
article?
at the image you sent me.
Oh. Here, I'll send you this. It has details. So you have some concept art, which is definitely like aliens and cool space themed lands, which I'm super psyched to get the full arts of those because I love the ones they've put out before, honestly. But this is part of a major story arc that runs from Wilds of Eldraine to Zip Lining in 2026, which I guess is a code name. So this is a major arc of Magic right now. And I think the same with Death Race. I think if I recall correctly, Death Race is like similar to like Thunder Junction was where the planes kind of collide, right? That's what Thunder Junction's story was. And Death Race is where one of the paths opened to during that, I think is part of how the story worked. So that's why it's like a weird one, but also kind of tying it back in, which I have to say, I've complained about Magic IP in the past. I really do like that they are just saying, screw it, and exploring all sorts of different directions, because some of them will suck. Some of them won't work. Your Clue, Karloff Manor or whatever. But the fact that they're opening up to different types of worlds allows them to revisit popular ones, to do the remastered and come back here later sort of thing. It's because I felt like we were getting too repetitive, as of like last year, right? How many times are we going to go and see. Well, actually, Innistrad's the one everyone complained about, but they're doing that one again with the remaster. But I actually like Innistrad. But how many times are we going to see Innistrad? How many times are we going to see Ravnica? How many times we're going to see? People are starting to get tired of the same places again. Which I get. So now they've opened it up to a whole bunch of new stuff, which I like. And space, come on, I love space.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious how this ties to Wild of Eldraine, though. I don't understand that. Metronome arc? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Which to know about yet. Oh, I don't know. Apparently the set is the first part of the block arc censored. Which now whatever the name of this arc turns out to be, it will be the third and final chapter of the Metronome arc. I don't know what that means either. I'll have to read up on this, I guess. Space theme. I hope they don't just do a bunch of space vehicles. I would be sad about that. I don't like vehicles.
Just like spaceships.
Yeah, I'll be very sad about that. I don't like
doubt
vehicles. It doesn't look like it. They look like they got alien factions of different types
Mhm.
and stuff. So that would be fun. Allows them to build new guilds. Like the guilds are the different color combinations, so you can do different space color combinations too. I like it.
Yeah.
I like space stuff. Next up, Lorwyn is back. This is the Elfie world for all you elf lovers and elf
I'm
ball
excited about
builders.
That seems cool. I like elves.
Got the dark elves and the light elves. That's not what they call them. They have a different name, but whatever it is. Yeah, they have the like, I think it's black green style elf, right? And then just the green elf. Maybe green white. I don't know if there's green white. Maybe not. But yeah, that's a favored theme for a lot of people. Not a big fan personally. Don't really care. Like, I'm not against it. I'm just indifferent. But you like it, you said?
Yeah. Celtic inspired elements.
That would be cool. I do like that. Like what they did with Kaldheim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet, actually. If they do this, like that kind of fancy art, I'd probably get into that. Heck, that might even get me to do elves. I tried to make an elf ball deck. I did not like it. I don't like decks that are too easy to build. I like the puzzle.
Yeah. They're comparing it to Neon Dynasty. As for the set itself, the Return to Lorwyn should be similar to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Yeah, this article says a lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also one thing we skipped past was a possible arena campaign coming, like a single player campaign.
Yeah, what does that mean? Is it like the intro tutorial thing where you have to fight 10 decks and they're all robots?
There's a story through it. You get little cutscenes or whatever in between.
Okay. Yeah. I guess.
Sure. Hearthstone did similar things. So.
Yeah. Was it fun?
Yeah. Okay. I like they did a couple different ones. I really like the one that's a roguelike deck builder.
Oh, that would be cool. If
so
it
like
is, okay,
you start
I
with
could
like
see that.
A base deck, and then
and you upgrade over like by beating bosses
like,
or whatever.
You won this game. Pick one of these 3 cards to add to your deck.
All right. Now I'm into it. At first I was like, that just seems lame. Like I don't really.
That was only things that I've added to it. It just it sounds like there's plans for a Magic Arena campaign.
Sure, but how do you do that? And what you just described is kind of like the only way to do it. Like I could be wrong. Maybe that's the only way that makes it even remotely compelling. If they do it just like the tutorial, then I don't think that's going to drive anyone into any sort of interest.
And obviously, campaign stuff like that obviously attracts new players who might be a little intimidated playing against real people.
Yeah. And that is
so it helps you then figure out how to deck build.
Yeah, well, they probably give you decks too.
Yeah, they have to give you a
starting collection. Yeah, that's how.
Those get revamped every set or every once in a while, maybe once a year. But those get refreshed as well.
It's cool.
I think with the standard rotation, they refreshed.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's what's in standard. Like they want to give you cards for standard. Because best of one standard is still the top played. Is that right?
I think so.
On Arena?
Yeah.
I know it was for the longest time. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, that's just what I do.
I remember it being the thing, but that
Yeah.
was during COVID. And I know things changed with standard since then. So I'm not 100% sure if that's still true.
Yeah. I was complaining. Remember when I was complaining earlier this week about that mono black deck?
Yes.
I decided to just make it. It's so much fun.
What a shock. Tommy
It's so
likes
much fun.
mono black, squishy, crush everything deck
No,
that goes fast, right?
no, it doesn't go
No,
fast. It
it
goes
doesn't.
slow. It kills everything and removes all the cards from your hand and punishes you for not having cards in your hand.
So it's control, black control. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. I've been working I literally since I didn't talk about this. So my green deck is done, I think. It's awesome. I played it. I won 2 out of 2 times playing it, and it was just a mean deck. It is a mean busted control deck. I love it. So since that's done, I'm now like, what's my next puzzle? I ran across an article talking about black control, not this deck that you're talking about, but just an old school one. And it's with a guy that I was like, someday I'm going to make a deck with this guy in it. It's Keurig, son of Yawgmoth.
Okay.
And there's a way to make them that's just goofy as hell. So I'm very excited to try that with the apostles. So apostles are one of the cards like the rats that say you can have any number of this card in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have like 25 apostles in my commander deck. And then Yawgmoth, who you can pay life to pay 1, and the apostles are 1. And if you have 5 of them, you can go and tutor a demon onto the battlefield. So that's gonna be fun. So black control deck doing black control deck things. Looking forward to that. I might have to steal some tech from this one you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, there's this one card that from Bloomberg that's been standing out to me. Bandit's Talent. 1 in black. When it enters, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. And then at level 2, you pay 1 at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. If that player has 1 or fewer cards in their hand, they lose 2 life. And then 3 in a black for level 3. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card for each opponent who has 1 or fewer cards in hand.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So you don't care about discarding cards because then you'll just draw them back.
Yeah, you get to keep going. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Back to the schedule. Next is Marvel.
Yeah, this one, if there's no Final Fantasy draft, I'm gonna be really, really sad if there's no Marvel draft.
Yeah, I'm curious what this one's gonna look like. Honestly, it's a big collaboration. They cannot stop. Yeah. Like Final Fantasy is kind of a crossover of industries. This is the people that are in most game shops, right?
Yep.
Are comic shops, are you know what I mean? Like they are such an interrelated world that this has to go well. They cannot.
There has to be a lot of product.
They have to go nuts with it. Like it just has to be, because you're literally talking to the neighbor of the people in, you know what I mean? Like if you're pulling any new people in, which is questionable because they are such a closely related thing. Yeah. But you got to get this one right. Like Final Fantasy, okay, if they screw it up, everyone's going to be sad because it's such a big IP. But it's like, do you pull in Final Fantasy people or not? That's your result. This one is like, these are your fans. These are the people that are there. Don't screw this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they do a good job with this one. That would be, I'm excited to see commander decks for this.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like it in the long run, like having, Captain America run around with Winona and all that sort of thing. But for the precons and stuff like that, I think I'm excited about it. That's probably one where I'll do like you did with the 40K ones, where I'll just keep them as standard and just fight them against each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully the power level's good.
I'd assume so.
Yeah.
I'd assume they'd up it like they did Warhammer. And then do they do the collectors again?
I would assume for both of these they do it. Yeah, but I don't know for sure. But it seems like a no-brainer to do it.
Collector commander decks is one.
Yeah, they have not done this. Yeah, they have not done that since 40K, right?
Yeah.
The only other collectors was in Modern Horizons 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which again made no sense that they had commander in Modern Horizons at all.
So I think there was a comment that they made suggesting that they were looking to make like starter decks for other formats soon too.
What does that mean?
So like when a modern set, like when Modern Horizons 4 comes out, that they would have modern decks to go with it.
Oh,
decks.
instead of Commander. I see.
Yeah.
That would make sense. That would make sense. But yeah, these having a collectible version, it's an absolute no-brainer. They better do it. Final Fantasy and Marvel.
Yeah.
It's they have to do it. If they don't do it, it's such a miss. Because people love this stuff and they will keep it in cellophane on the shelf.
Yes, I will.
Exactly. Like, I know this will happen. This is like Star Wars stuff. You always make it collectible because somebody's going to collect it.
Yes. Yeah.
So. Cool.
I'm excited for
Anything
Marvel.
else? I guess there's a little bit of talk about what's happening in 2026.
What's that?
Yachting, zipline, Amsterdam, Berlin, universes beyond and beyond. I guess it's at the bottom. So there's a few things, but it doesn't look like there's much detail. It's just like Archivio set, Capstone set, and then nothing about the other two.
Yeah.
Oh, Archivios is that Strix? Going back to Strix. Yay! I love Strix. And ziplining is, of course, was that Zendikar? The one with the floating. Is that Zendikar or is that is Zendikar? Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Neat. Well, 2026 looks fun too. Anything else about Magic's calendar? What's your most excited for 2025 that's announced so far?
Marvel.
That's your big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
sure.
I'm trying to think, what do I like the best out of all these? I feel like I'm on the fence on all of them. Like, I guess it's the space set. It's probably the space set. That's probably my favorite out of everything announced. Because that one, like, I kind of don't care what they do. I'll like it.
Yeah.
It's space. The rest, I'm like, it depends. Like, Final Fantasy might be my big one if they do the art the way I want to see it. If the art's like amazing, then I would be very excited about that. If it's not, then I'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's got to be the space set for me.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Yeah.
Give me good limited formats. That's all I can.
Tommy's like, I just want to draft.
I just want to
just let me draft.
Cool. Was there anything else we said we were going to talk about?
I think there was one other thing. Oh, the arena pre-con thing.
Yeah, let me see if that is
that up yet. I know they advertised it, but I don't know if it's actually active.
Yeah.
I will say we're getting close to sorcery release. I'm getting more excited about that. I literally sold a card last night at karaoke to a fellow sorcery player because it was one of the few cards he was missing from his playset or something. Pretty cool to still see those moving, you know. It was one I had extras of because it's Crusade, so it's one of the banned cards from TCG Player. Yeah, it's how they did that with Magic, and since then TCG Player just adopted the concept, I'm pretty sure. So both Jihad and Crusade you can only buy through eBay, which is a pain in the butt, and that's why it was like, do you have an extra? And I bought a bunch of them a while ago because they tend to be the type of card that goes up over time. So I got both. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll sell you one. It's fine. But yep, Sorcery's new set looks fun. And I'm excited about it. Not much. They've been leaking cards and stuff. Well, leaking, whatever. They've been showing off cards a little bit at a time, Gen Con and all the rest. So we'll see. I think I'm just going to stick with my one case. I don't think I have any drive to do more than that. And I'll probably just crack it, honestly. I'll just crack it, and that will be my cards for the set.
Fair.
There seems to be some contention. I guess I heard it on Rudy's thing, and I haven't heard this from anyone I know. So, but I obviously don't have as big a reach as Rudy. That it's less packs. It's like the same or higher price, I think, something like that. And people are mad about that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't really. I guess
they're set packs.
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
Because you can't draft this one, right?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I'm guessing no is my answer. I like that they reduced the number of packs in the box. I think maybe they should reduce the price too.
Yeah.
But like whatever, I don't care. I think opening experience is more important to me than the price being higher or lower. But I have a little bit of a different perspective than a lot of people out there that are spending their hard-earned cash on this sort of stuff. So, So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it doesn't get completely rejected and the community just implodes around this. I doubt it will happen because there's so many really passionate people around sorcery.
Yeah, it's a niche.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche. Like this is never going to be a top 3, and it's not trying to be at all. I am curious if they do what they said. There's one interview pretty early on where Eric was basically like, some things can just have an end.
Yeah.
He's like, he basically said, I have a vision and it's X number of sets. He didn't say how many. And then that will probably be the end. Like, unless there's a good reason, he didn't sound like he wanted this to go on forever. It was never supposed to go on forever. Remember, he's a video game designer, right? Like he's got other stuff he can do and does creatively. And I think he just has this vision of what he wants this whole thing to be. And that's that. And I'm kind of awesome. Like, I think that's fine. I'm like, that would be great. I get it. Like, that's cool. I hope it works. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways, you were looking up something, the arena stuff.
Yeah, there's 5 decks available.
Do you like how I bought you time to do that by talking about stuff? Sorry, guys.
There's 5 decks available. 1, 2, 3 of them are titled Foundation decks. One's a starter deck, and one is a champion deck.
Okay. And what are the formats for them? They're all standard, or what are they?
I think so.
I know they mentioned Brawl being some of them in there, but they may not be out yet or whatever.
Yeah, there is one Brawl.
Well, that's a shame. I was hoping for
Brawl
more
deck. And there's 2 Brawl decks, sorry.
Okay.
2 Brawl decks. No, 3. Sorry.
Well, I should probably get on there and buy one just so it
2 are standard.
Vote with my money sort of thing. Like, I like this, do it more, and maybe I'll actually do it more. But
you have to buy gems though.
It's no big deal. I remember during COVID, I bought like a bazillion gems.
No, it's like you can't just pay money for the deck.
No, I know.
Yeah. So there's always that awkward
exchange rate or whatever. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have gems on my account still, honestly, from one time or another that I bought some.
And it does discount them for cards you have.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they don't.
I'm glad they do that. Yeah. I wonder how many cards I have because I don't know if you recall. I got a lot of cards.
So the
back
Brawl
in the day.
maybe it'd be interesting. I'm gonna screenshot what they are for me, and then you can compare what they are for you because they should be different.
Okay, let me see. I'll open.
You don't have to do it now, but
just curious myself. But yeah, we'll see. I like the idea. Like I said, if anything, it will get me back into it. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Like, it definitely is a tempting approach for me to get in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want Brawl to work more, honestly, because I want to test tech on Arena so that I can learn lines of play better.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing Arena's great at is it basically manages rules for you, and that's something I'm terrible at. Is like reading the full card.
Right. The power of reading.
Yeah, the power of reading. Oh my God, our game on Friday ended with I was just being bombarded with harassment. I was tired. It was late. I was screwing up triggers left, right, and center, and people are like, "You freaking dope!" Like, they blew up on me, and I was getting a little upset. Like, I wasn't upset, but I was just like, "Oh my God, stop harassing me!"
I'm tired.
And then I had to get off because I was tired and I had stuff the next day. And so I was like, "Okay, I'm getting off," and I think they thought I was like sad or upset.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, it's just 11 and I'm an old man and I'm tired. I got to get up in the morning.
Exactly.
So, but it was pretty funny. Someone's like, "Oh no, it's okay." I'm like, no, it is okay. I am not offended at all. Yeah. Let's see. Let me try to get on Arena here. I'm gonna get my password.
I'll do all the updates.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to get on to compare that, am I? Because it's got to download like a million things, doesn't it? Oh God. Well,
fine.
I guess we'll do it later. Yeah.
Stay tuned for next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we will remember to bring this up
No,
again.
we absolutely will
No.
not.
No. So until next week, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.